Hello children, welcome to our English world. This is your English teacher Arvi Nagalakshmi from NTR district, Andhra Pradesh. In today's lesson, the fun they had will deal with the second part of our reading comprehension. Before that, let us have an overview of our lesson. In the overview, we will deal with the reading comprehension part 2, followed by the grammar point, understanding the unless or if not usage, and finally, we will deal with the speaking activity with focus on debate. Before that, let us have a look at the learning objectives. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify the main features of mechanical teachers and the classrooms that Tommy and Maggie have in the story. Complete the negative conditional sentences using unless. Explain why Margie thought that the old kind of school must have been fun. Present your argument in the form of debate with all its features. Come, now let's recollect what happened in the reading comprehension part 1. Have you recollected any points? Let's find out. Yes, the lesson started with Tommy finding a real book with the yellow and crinkly pages and the words that stood still instead of moving. This was the fun they had when compared to the telly books and the writing of the test through the punch code. And Mrs. Jones, being the mother of Margie, was very much worried about the geography test and sent for the county inspector. Margie was disappointed as Tommy's teacher had been removed, but her teacher had been completely replaced. And she also wondered, why would anyone write about school? This is the point where we have stopped, right? Let's continue. She said to Tommy, why would anyone write about school? Tommy looked at her with very superior eyes. Because it's not our kind of school, stupid. This is the old kind of school that they had hundreds and hundreds of years ago. He added loftily, pronouncing the word carefully, centuries ago. Do you know the meaning of the word century? What do you mean by the word century? 20 years? 100 years? 25 years? Or 50 years? Yes, the right answer is B. Let's continue our reading. Margie was hurt. Well, I don't know what kind of school they had all the time ago. She read the book over his shoulder for a while, then said, anyway, they had a teacher. What does she mean by this? Anyway, they had a teacher. Who does they refer to? Children of old school? Children of future school? Tommy and Margie, or the county inspector? What is your answer? Yes, the right answer is A. Let's continue with our reading. Sure, they had a teacher, but it wasn't a regular teacher. It was a man. A man? How could a man be a teacher? Well, he just told the boys and girls things and gave them homework and asked them questions, said Tommy. I know you have a doubt, children. What did Tommy mean by a regular teacher here? Is it the mechanical teacher or the real teacher? Yes, the right answer is A. Let's look at the glossary for a few words before reading further. The words are smart means talented. Becha is an informal word for the bet. Dispute is to quarrel or to show disagreement. Strange means unknown. And scream is making a loud sound expressing emotion. Let's continue to read the text. A man isn't smart enough, says Marky. Sure he is. My father knows as much as my teacher. He knows almost as much, I betcha, said Tommy. But Margie wasn't prepared to dispute that. She said, I wouldn't want a strange man in my house to teach me. Let's understand what was Margie prepared not to dispute. Margie wasn't prepared to dispute that. What did that refer to here? Men being smart? Men as teachers? Tommy's father knows as much as teacher? Strange man in the house. All seems to be the possible options. But the correct answer is C. Let's see what happens next. Tommy screamed with laughter. You don't know much, Maggie. The teachers didn't live in the house. They had a special building and all the kids went there. And all the kids learned the same thing? Asked Maggie. And Tommy replied, Sure, if they were the same age. Let's check a question. They had a special building and all the kids went there. What does the special building here refer to? Is it a school or a factory? Yes, the right answer is A. Let's proceed to read the text. But my mother says a teacher has to be adjusted to fit the mind of each boy and girl it teaches, and that each kid has to be taught differently. Just the same, they didn't do it that way then. If you don't like it, you don't have to read the book, said Tommy. I didn't say I didn't like it, Maggie said quickly. She wanted to read about those funny schools. What do you observe about Maggie? I didn't say I didn't like it. What does it tell about Margie? Margie is not curious about the book, or Margie is interested to know more about funny schools. Yes, the answer is B. Let's read further. They weren't even half finished when Margie's mother called, Margie, school. Margie looked up. Not at Mama. Now, said Mrs. Jones, and it's probably time for Tommy too. Margie said to Tommy, Can I read the book some more with you after school? Can you help me to find out? What did it mean by Margie's school? Is it Margie's school or it's time for Margie to attend the school? Yes, the right answer is B. Let's see what Tommy says. Maybe, he said nonchalantly. He walked away whistling, the dusty old book tucked beneath his arm. Maggie went into the schoolroom. It was right next to her bedroom, and the mechanical teacher was on and waiting for her. It was always on at the same time every day except Saturday and Sunday, because her mother said little girls learn better if they learned at regular hours. Can you help me to find out? Where is Margie's school? In her house, a room next to her bedroom, or in a separate building at a distance? Yes, the right answer is A. Let's continue. The screen was lit up and it said, Today's arithmetic lesson is on addition of proper fractions. Please insert yesterday's homework in the proper slot. Margie did so with a sigh. She was thinking about the old schools they had when her grandfather's grandfather was a little boy. All the kids from the whole neighborhood came laughing and shouting in the schoolyard. sitting together in the schoolroom, going home together at the end of the day. They learn the same things, so they could help one another with the homework and talk about it. And the teachers were people. Okay, children, we have finished the lesson. Let's summarize what we have learned in this part 2. We have learned in part 2 that the old schools have interactive human beings as teachers instead of robotic teachers. They even have the physical school building instead of the virtual classroom. And the homework is done through discussion and clarifying doubts instead of submitting in the slots. And finally, they sit, eat, play, and learn together than spending all alone. Hence, for them, the learning is fun. Now, let's proceed to the grammar concept. In today's grammar topic, we look at the if conditional clauses. These are used to express that the action in the main clause without if can only take place if a certain condition in the clause with if is fulfilled. There are three types of conditional clauses. The type 1 shows that it is possible and also very likely that the condition will be fulfilled, and the form is if plus simple present, will and future. For example, we can say if I study, I will pass the exam. It is possible and also likely that if the condition will be fulfilled. The second type shows that it is possible but very unlikely that the condition will be fulfilled. If you look at the example, if I studied, I would pass the exam. Okay, and the structure is if plus simple past and would plus infinitive. At the same time, the third type shows that it is impossible that the condition will be fulfilled because it refers to the past. For example, if I had studied, I would have passed the exam. So both the things didn't happen. And the structure is if plus past perfect plus would and have along with the past participle. Now let's see the usage of negatives in the if conditional clauses. We focus only on type 1 negatives. Here are the examples. If I study, I will pass the exam. How will we negate it? If I don't study, I will not pass the exam. If I study, I will pass the exam, and if I don't study, I will not pass the exam. Let's look at another example. If I get a job, I will buy a new car. Can you make it a negative? Yes, here is the answer. If I don't get a job, I will not buy a car. Let's look at another example. If the weather is good, we will go to the beach. That means to say, if the weather is not good, we will not go to the beach. Right. I hope you understood it well. Come, let's learn to use the negatives using unless. You have just recollected how to make the positive sentences into negative, and let's see how these negatives can be changed in using unless. If I don't study, I will not pass the exam. This can be said without changing the meaning using unless in the following way. Unless I study, I will not pass the exam. Shall we try with more sentences? Let's try to change the positive sentence into negative using unless. If I get a job, I will buy a new car. Here we are going to use directly unless to make it a negative sentence. Did you complete? Let's check our answer. Unless I get a job, I will not buy a new car. Yes, you are right. Let's check with another example. If the weather is good, we will go to the beach. Try this using unless. Let's check the answer. Unless the weather is good, we will not go to the beach. Here, in the first part of the sentence, we have unless, so we don't have the word don't. But in the second part, the negative is continued with not. Here is an activity to match the following. Column A, column B. Here are the phrases. If you wait a minute, if he doesn't have a temperature, unless I do this test, unless you make a decision. Let's see what is there in column B. He will not see a doctor. I will not pass English. Opportunity will be lost. I'll ask my parents. Okay, let's try to make the meaningful sentences using and matching these. Are you ready? Let's check our answers. If you wait a minute, I'll ask my parents. If he doesn't have a temperature, he will not see a doctor. Unless I do this, I will not pass English. Unless you make a decision quickly, the opportunity will be lost. Did you observe the last sentence? Unless you make a decision quickly, the opportunity will be lost. As we have discussed, the second part should also will have the not a word in that. But here in this, you don't find any no word. But you can find the word lost. It gives a negative meaning. Let's look at another example. If I don't go to Anu's party tonight, she will be upset. Upset is a negative meaning here. Let's try more. Here is another activity for you. Arrange the following to make the meaningful sentences. First, take a second to read the sentences and then try to match them. Are you ready? Yes. Unless that a little bird flies away quickly, what happens? The cat will pounce on it. Okay? Next, unless you promise to write back, I will not write back to you. If you don't telephone the hotel to order the food, you will miss the evening meal. And if she doesn't play any games, she will become lazy and unfit. Yes, you got all correct. Now, let's observe how a debate is being organized.
Well, children, up to now you learned several things in the lesson, the fun they had. Now, here is an interesting activity on speaking where everybody can express your opinions. So, now what you have to do is, in groups of 4, discuss the following topic. The schools of the future will have no books and no teachers. So, your group can decide to speak for or against the motion. After this, each group will select a speaker to present his or her views to the entire class. Now let's see what's a debate and how well we can organize in our class. Well, a debate is a discussion between people in which they express different opinions about something. And a debate can be an organized event, an informal discussion, or between two or more people, or a general discussion that involves many people. So, usually in a debate, what happens is we have to introduce the topic first, and that's what we call like proposition. And we have to introduce the topic in a very effective way. Now, once we'll see the proposition, and then exactly what we have to do is this is the topic or issue that is argued upon. And if you want to know and if you want to participate well in the debate, what exactly you have to do is first you have to do some organized research. And one more thing that you have to find is you have to utilize the library is the first source, refer to number of books, and do some interviews with children to collect various opinions, take down notes, and finally refer to the web to have a clear idea. In debate, usually we have both sides. That's like affirmative as what we call like uh, expressing your opinion for the topic, or the next one what we call as negative, and it's always against the topic. And it's up to you how you have to and how you are going to uh, participate and express your opinions in the debate. Well, now let's see some useful phrases to present your argument in the debate. In my opinion, you have to tell related to the topic. I or we fail to understand why it's happening like that. I wholeheartedly support or oppose the view that based on the topic, you have to add, you can use these phrases. At the outset, let me say whatever you want to say, you can tell about it. Well, here are a few more expressions that we can use to express our opinions in debate. Like, I should like to draw attention to my or our or the opponent has submitted that, and you can use that statement exactly what he said, and then you can express your opinion. And I would like to, or we would like to raise the issue of or argue against whatever your opponent says. I wholeheartedly support or oppose the view that whatever your other person speaks. On the contrary, or I firmly reject what my friend says. So this is the way how we can use some of the expressions. And now what you have to do is you have to collect various expressions and try to participate in debate more actively. Well, now let's check how well we can participate in this debate where all our students are participating. Come on, children. Children, hope you're all ready. Now, here is the topic for you. The schools of the future will have no books and no teachers. Yes, children, I know it's a really interesting topic and you have learned several things in the lesson. And now here is the time for you to express your opinions. Well, now let's check what some of our students were expressing their opinions. Come on, children.
I am Ramya. I strongly agree what you say. And I am in favor of the motion. I think the schools of the future will have no books and no teachers because of the latest trends in the software applications, and we all have access to the digital technologies.
So, well, up to now, you heard what Ramya is saying is all about. She's talking about in favor of the motion. And now let's see one more student, how the student is going to say about uh, against the motion.
I wholeheartedly oppose the view regarding what my friend said. If the schools of the future have no books and teachers, I am sure that the students will have no respect for their parents, elders and peers. As you all know that we have witnessed during corona pandemic.
Yes, that's fine. And now you have seen how the speaker is going to argue against the motion. Well, children, now here it is your turn that you can express your opinions for the topic or against the topic, and now you can continue the same way in your class.
With this, let's summarize what we have learned till now. We understood the features of mechanical teachers, the usage of if not or unless, why Maggie thought that in the old schools the learning might be fun, and we also understood how to organize and participate in a debate. Are you ready to take the final assessment now? Let's go. Maggie was surprised to know that the old school children gathered at the school to learn, had human beings as teachers. All the kids learned the same thing if they were of the same age, and all of the above. Which do you think is the right answer? Yes, the answer is D, all of the above. What do you mean by loftily? In a superior way, in an inferior way, in a loud manner, or in a funny way? Yes, the answer is A. Margie attended the school on all the 7 days of a week, only 5 days a week, only on Saturday and Sunday, none of the above. What is the right answer? Yes, the answer is B. The structure for type 1 conditional clauses is if plus simple present and will and future, or if simple past, will and future, if plus will, future and simple present, or if plus simple present with would and future. Recollect the structure and answer. Yes, you are right. The answer is A. Focusing on the structure you have learned, choose the correct statement. You leave at 4, you arrive in New York by 10. The options are, if you leave at 4, you arrive in New York by 10. If you leave at 4, you will arrive in New York by 10. You arrived in New York by 10, you leave at 4. If you left at 4, you will arrive in New York by 10. Check with the structure and answer. The answer is B. Learning is fun in future schools or old schools? Yes, the right answer is B. Each kid has to be taught in the same way or in a different way. Yes, the right answer is B. A debate is a discussion between people in which they express dash opinions about something. Is it same opinions, different opinions, equal opinions, or a difference opinions? Check the right answer. Yes, the answer is B. In debate, a topic or issue that is argued upon is called as proposition, preposition, argument, or opinion. Choose the right answer. Yes, the answer is A. While exploring a topic, you have to organize a research, refer to books in library and web sources, take notes and summarize the points. Or you have to do all the above. Yes. What is the right answer? You have to do all the above for preparing a topic. The right answer is D. Okay, children, hope you enjoyed this lesson.